SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold, and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, and we're also going to have a quick look at Ethereum just to give an overview of perhaps what altcoins are looking at. It's more or less a carbon copy of Bitcoin, I have to say. And obviously we're going to look at Dixie and the Forex that feeds into the Dixie, which, like I said, in what I haven't chosen what clickbait I've decided to use today, but from what I can see, it should be favourable. Not guaranteed, but favourable. So we're looking at Dixie here on the daily. So remember, we've talked about the Everything Bounce 2.0 getting a rejection from the top of the here and down to the 50 exponential where we expected a bounce. Kind of got that bounce, didn't we? And if we look at the short-term time frames, it's actually been rejected already from a 200, a 20, a 200, a 10, and a 7 simple from today. So actually, I would say that the dollar actually wants to come down further at this stage. So we're not going to, well, I say we're not. It doesn't appear that we're going to get the larger bounce from the 50 exponential on this weekly, the one that we expected to see. We came down there last week, sat around here this week. We're not moving up so far to these areas. And I'm not suggesting that we won't. We certainly will do at some point, but not this week, I don't think. I don't think we're going to be doing it this week. These areas are going to be sinking down lower and lower and lower. The Bollinger Band is starting to have a negative slope on it as well. So all of this is actually good for continuation of the downtrend, which is what I expected anyway. I was just looking for a move up to these levels. I don't think we're going to be getting that this week. So what, we're sitting here on Thursday right now, seeing rejections here over the last few days. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections in a row. And not been able to reclaim, first of all, the 200 exponential, which is the most important thing. Now we're getting a negative cross below the 200 exponential with a 10. The Bollinger Band Center will be crossing over here maybe early next week. So it's all signs of a continuation of a downtrend, to be honest with you. The bullish divergence and hidden bullish divergence now been cancelled out. So it does look like further downside for the Dixie, which normally you would expect to see the opposite take place for traditional markets. Now again, I've said it many times, I say it every day now, just to remind you who said it, just in case it does come true. You can go, oh yeah, he did say that, in the face of everybody else not saying it. This could be the bottom for traditional markets. Not a very popular idea, I understand, but I still think that is it's more than likely the case now. I would say so. I'd actually say that it's the most likely scenario that this is the bottom for traditional markets. And again, we're not far away from there. If we were to just come down by another 9%, we'd be looking to getting on for making a new low. So it's not far away, but given the Dixie's rejection, look at the weekly support on S&P, 10 exponential, and the 200 and the 20, which is your Bollinger Band Center. Let's have a look at the daily. So daily, we're sort of below most moving averages of significance. It's a major horizontal area of support here. You could argue we front run that yesterday. Excuse me, and the 50 exponential all coming in around 3,900. So I actually quite like it. Also, we had a pump signal generated. What was this? Early in the week. So how many days ago was that? So we've got 26 periods behind. We got the pump signal generated at this, more or less at this top. So what? At the beginning of the week, we got a pump signal. You might be looking at this going, "Well, I thought the pump signal was supposed to make us pump." Well, they normally do, but they don't often pump straight from the moment that the pump signal takes place. You look for just like you would on any chart, you look for an opportunity to buy into that dip. And this looks like maybe not the perfect area, but a reasonable area to think about buying into that dip. 3,900 on S&P. So with that said, what else is there to look at? We'll have a look at the Forex pairs. So we got a rejection taking place here on the 10 exponential, just like we've seen on the Japanese yen for the most part since we started to break down, since I called the top on it. I did that over here. Remember my heroes long that I was posting on Telegram. I got the absolute top for the dollar. to Japanese yen. I closed it, obviously. I mean, you've got to bag that profit in. You've got to make profits somewhere when crypto has been so weak. But yeah, it looks like we've been rejected on this 10 exponential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty much every time since we got that top. So it looks like continuation down for dollar versus yen, which is a big deal because this was one of the main ones that fed into the Dixie to navigate our way from that top and the downside that we've seen thereafter. Euro also, so euro, we're looking for longs on euro, so we come up to this top of this Bollinger Band. We've also come up to the major area of technical support, stroke resistance, sorry, and we've got bearish divergence, which is actually still in play. So this is the only thing that makes me slightly concerned, because the euro, I would say, arguably is the largest component to the Dixie. And the euro, like I say, is pushing this resistance. So if we do come down for the euro, which we may do, given what we're looking at here, Bollinger Band top, with horizontal and the 50 simple and exponential, then a 2%, 2.5% drop, you know, that's the most likely scenario. If we do come down further, it's still not a big deal. I would like to see us hold above 102, it's definitely 103 for continuation, but we could be looking at a breakout. And the next level of significance for euro is all the way up here. So it's 111 really, 111.5. Quite a big bold move. I'm not looking for something like that to happen straight away. This is a weekly, of course, that we're looking at. If we focus here more on the daily, what do we see? We're surfing all the moving averages. We're above every single last one of them. Not overextended, no bearish divergence. So it does make you feel as though there is a good possibility of a breakout of this level and then moving up slowly but surely to these areas, 108 and then basically 111 basically, which is these areas too. So relatively decent trading environment potential. So let's think about Bitcoin and what it means for Bitcoin. Well, unfortunately, Bitcoin here on the 4 hour looks pretty tired, you know, coming up to get a rejection on the 10 exponential. We've got a rejection over here on the 200. So it's not in an uptrend. I mean, price-wise it is, but as far as reclaiming zones of interest, I wouldn't call that an actual uptrend. But what I would say is that this is actually much more of a consolidation after this last peak that we saw over here. And if that's the case, we've got ourselves another descending triangle. Don't think too much about the triangle, just think about the support stroke resistances. Support down here at 16,500, resistance and breakout territory on the short-term time frames looking like it will, if it's going to happen, we'd have the best opportunity for it to happen today. And a breakout from this level, which is just the 16,800, 900 area, should take us straight back up to the 200 exponential. So we're talking 17,003, 17,004, and at that point there we should be looking for the next area to be reclaimed. So we're talking 18,000 really, or not reclaimed but tagged as far as price action. So it does look pretty sweet. I do favor this, and I'll be looking for the breakout to take place given what we've seen on the Dixie, the yen, the euro, and the S&P. I would say that it's more likely that we will see a breakout from this descending triangle than a breakdown at this point now. Those of you who want to play it safe, you would wait for a breakout and a retest and then look for a move to take place after that. So we'll be looking for, let's just say, these are your moving averages. There's your 10 exponential. We break out from here. We find a bounce. We get a rejection around here. I don't know why it's snaking up so much. This is just, this has turned out to be a real mess. And then we move our way up to this box and find ourselves a next rejection. And at that point, we might use this 200 exponential as support. That would be great because that would incur a golden cross somewhere else down the line in a couple of weeks. Now, I'm not suggesting that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. I am suggesting that the bottom is in for traditional markets, but not for Bitcoin. It could be in for Bitcoin. It could be. Definitely could be, but it's not the same setup that we see on S&P. And if you remember the video I made a few days ago, which is showing the S&P's formation, still very much in a downtrend, but there was something else that we looked at, which was also in a very steep downtrend, which was gold. And the gold situation is what I would like to see take place for the S&P. So a descending triangle, breakout from that, and then started to move up, reclaiming these moving averages. This is a daily here, but you can see that it's quite a nice looking chart with a breakout scenario. So if we could see that sort of thing take place over here, that would, to me, help us determine that the bottom is in for traditional markets. And you should only hope that Bitcoin and crypto follow through with their I suppose they just like to copy, don't they? Just living in the shadows at the moment, aren't they, of traditional markets? They are a very, very fleeting afterthought of traditional markets. So overall, I actually favour upside, despite being below all these moving averages of on the 4 hourly and being within the triangle. I still think that the overall trading environment outside of the Bitcoin chart will help us break out from here, and we'll be looking for maybe over the rest of the week, maybe today, but maybe over the next couple of days. As it stands at the moment, I will be looking for a breakout to take us up to make another run up, maybe into and above 18,000. So things are looking quite good. They're not the most bullish thing you've ever seen in the world, but it does make me feel a bit more confident about making some short-term trades on this as and when we start to see some movement. Usually better to wait for the American markets to open, because obviously we're trying to determine what Bitcoin wants to do next based upon American indices, S&P and whatnot. But you know, with a bit of decent risk to rewards and risk management, you know, maybe if we do start to trend down a little bit and we make our way down to the bottom of the triangle, you could think maybe this could be an area where you could try an entry, but with a tight stop loss. Because if we did lose 16,500, then kapow, probably at that stage we come down to at least the 16,000 flat, and maybe over at that point there we break down further to make a new low. So there is definitely a bit of a problem if we start to lose 16,500. It doesn't mean we go to make a new low, but it would certainly, as far as I'm concerned, break this current runs formation and be decoupled from the, not the bullish environment, but the favourable environment that we see across Forex and indices. Right, I will leave it with you there. There's not much more to say about this, and that's the short term. The long term we speak about all the time. At the short term, that would be it. If this works out, it should happen today or tomorrow. It shouldn't take any longer than that. So we'll be looking for this move really to take place at any moment. Most likely, though, I think that this move will take place, if I had to put my money on it, later today. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.